Hi, in the reaction there are some important considerations. So 4 important considerations. So first of all, benzaldoxime has a melting point of about 36 degrees C. And so to add this dropwise, it should be kept in the oven prior to use. Otherwise it will solidify in the pasta pipette. Okay, so you'll see later during the synthesis you'll have benzaldoxime to add dropwise, one of those little pasta pipettes, you know, the plastic ones, and you'll be dropping this dropwise, but because the benzaldoxime has a melting point fairly close to room temperature, depending on what the temperature of the room is, then it can solidify in the pipette. So if you're trying to add something dropwise and it all solidifies in the pipette, then that's not really very helpful. And so how you get around that is you keep the benzaldoxime in the oven prior to use so that it's quite warm when you add it, so it's above the melting point. Yeah, so that's the first consideration. The second one, when you're adding the benzaldoxime, it must be added dropwise. So again, via this plastic pipette, this pasta pipette. So this must be added dropwise so that it slowly forms the unstable and reactive nitrile oxide, which can then rapidly react with the styrene, which is already in solution. Okay, so the styrene's already there. You add the benzaldoxime dropwise. It will react with the other materials in the flask to make the nitrile oxide, and as soon as it's produced, it then reacts with the styrene, which is also already present in the reaction mixture. If you don't add it dropwise, what happens is you build up the nitrile oxide, which, because it's reactive, it will then go on to form other side products. So instead of forming your desired product, 3,5-diphenyl isoxazoline, you'll form some other side products. The third consideration is the reaction mixture contains an organic phase. This is the dichloromethane and your product once it's formed. So they are both soluble in the organic phase, and an aqueous phase. So the aqueous phase will be the nitrile oxide, because of its positive charge on nitrogen, negative charge on oxygen, that is in the aqueous phase. And you've also got sodium hypochlorite, bleach, present in solution, so that's going to be in the aqueous phase. So you've got these two phases. So unless you mix them, or the reaction could just take place at the interface, couldn't it? And because you want all the reaction mixture to take part in the reaction, you're going to have some vigorous mixing. This is required to bring all the species together. If you don't do this, then you get a low yield, and you also might get side products. The fourth reaction is the reaction mixture must be cooled in ice to enable the nitrile oxide to form. Okay, so the reaction mixture is cooled down in ice. You form the nitrile oxide, which then reacts with the styrene. So if you don't cool it in ice, you'll get a low yield and likely to get other side products formed rather than your 3,5-diphenyl isoxazoline. Okay, so they are the 4 considerations you must consider.